the gunshots, I thought it was something electrical. And when I looked out, stepped out into the aisle, to a big doorway like, that's when I saw Neil, the gunner. I seen him raising a gun, and I saw the dead body of Joshua behind him. Well, I run and hid behind the wall, and as soon as I did that, I heard a pop, and then water was, when I guess the bullet exited his head and hit the main water line, and water was spraying everywhere. And then when I peeked back out, I saw Neil laying there dead.
You're like, what? You know, everybody at work was talking about this can't happen here. You know, it could happen here. It's just strange how you just don't know what people were thinking.
Our hearts, thoughts, and prayers are going out to all the victims and their families, you know. I feel so awful about this, and I hate it, and I want them to know, you know, that we're sorry.
Wow, that office shooting that happened 2 days ago in Kentucky, well, it may have been made more possible because of a new law there. Wesley Higdon killed his supervisor and 4 other co-workers at Atlantis Plastics before shooting himself. He apparently had an argument with his boss, then all ticked off, he went out to his car in the company parking lot, got his gun, and shot the place up. Folks, Kentucky is one of 6 states in this country where businesses must allow workers and customers to keep firearms in their cars on company premises. There are other states looking to follow Kentucky's lead. Florida is set to prohibit employers from banning guns on company property on July 1st. Well, we're asking, should business owners have the right to keep guns from the workplace? It is their company property. Joining us now, Florida business owner Tim Rice and Brian Siebel from the Brady Center to Prevent Handgun Violence. Tim, let's start with you. Are you worried something similar could happen to you, which happened in Kentucky, at your business place?
Well, absolutely. I think all business owners are. I mean, we as business owners, our employees look to us to provide a safe work environment. And part of providing that is the ability to use our private property rights to say, you cannot bring a handgun onto our property or onto our parking lot. And that is part of, you know, what our employees look for us to provide them for security.
So clearly you're fighting this, but it amazes me actually that you're getting kickback from people, that people are in support of this. I'm not sure I understand it. I do know you can walk into a pawn shop in Florida and walk out with a gun 2 or 3 days later. I mean, don't all the rules have to change then?
Well, no, the rule that they're trying to change here is currently before the Guns at Work law, the private property rights of a business owner superseded the right to bear arms on that property. And I'm involved with the Lakeland Chamber of Commerce, and the Florida Chamber of Commerce has been instrumental in fighting this legislation, and because we are very worried for our employees and our customers that we can provide a safe place for them to shop and for them to come to work.
Hey, let's bring in Brian Siebel from the Brady Center to Prevent Handgun Violence. Obviously, we know you're against this this effort across the states to get this implemented and made law. I tell you, Brian, I don't see the sense of this, that the companies are being forced to allow their workers to have guns right outside in the parking lot in their cars. Doesn't make sense to me, but it kind of makes you show how powerful the National Rifle Association is.
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, I mean, certainly there is no sense to these laws. The tragic shooting that happened 2 days ago in Kentucky is not the only time that a worker disgruntled gets into an argument at work, goes out to his car and brings back a gun and starts shooting up the place. It's far too common. You know, and workplaces where guns are prohibited actually have far less gun violence than workplaces where guns are allowed. So, you know, this is a crazy idea, and it's part of the gun lobby's effort really to push guns into every nook and cranny of society. They want to push guns into company parking lots. They want to give college kids guns to carry on campus. They really want to see guns kind of everywhere. And to us, it doesn't make much sense.
But the ruling came out 5-4, so it was really close. And
Yeah,
Florida's
but I can talk about the Supreme Court case, because the Supreme Court case only applies to government restrictions. Here you have a private property owner. You know, that the Constitution doesn't, it says the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed by the government, not that a private business owner can't set the rules on his or her property.
Right, it's spirit of the law versus letter of the law here, definitely. I agree with you. But at the same time, you have other states that are all for this. Missouri, Mississippi, I mean, Kansas, as we said, all these states are...
There have been a few states, certainly. One of the laws, the first law that was passed, has actually been struck down as unconstitutional, the law in Oklahoma, which made it a crime for you to prohibit guns on your property. And the reason it was struck down, you know, the fellow that you have on the show here has said he has a duty to provide a safe workplace. That's a duty that's established under the Federal Occupational Safety and Health Act, and all employers in America have this duty. And they can't really fulfill that duty to keep their property safe unless they can set the rules for whether guns are allowed or not.
Right. Tim and Brian, thank you so much. And it's a good point that now I wonder if small business owners, they're the most worried about it. They'll be sued if somebody is shot on the workplace. Right. You know, that's the other risk. And I just do want to also mention, we just got a news alert across the wires that the National Rifle Association is suing to overturn San Francisco's ban on handguns in city housing. This is after the Supreme Court ruling that you mentioned. And, you know, of course, on the NRA side of it, you know, they say, hey, it's a constitutional right to bear arms wherever you are.
It's loony, though. I mean, although at the same time, you don't know, right? So what's a safe environment? A safe environment, I guess, is that I have my weapon in my car so I can protect myself?
That's what the NRA believes. Exactly, yeah.
It's very scary.